The Undertaker is overpowered in Elden Ring Nightreign. In this video, I'll be showing you the ultimate guide on how to play her, some secret tips and tricks to get the most out of her kit, and the best build to be able to drop a Tombstone Pile Driver on the Dreglord. To quickly break down her passive, she gets a free ultimate anytime that someone else uses theirs. Trance will actually, it's very vague how it works, but it's going to give us a roughly 15% damage increase. It's going to increase our attack speed, and on our fourth attack, this also counts when we hit multiple enemies. It'll increase our damage further, and we can actually do a special version of Trance. Loathsome Hex ultimate is extremely powerful long range. Now, she has both A scaling and faith and strength, making her a good recipient for America's Hammer, which is probably the best in slot for her with B scaling and health. So yeah, when we use our Trance, we actually have to hit 4 times to get this attack boost. What's nice is if you're fighting a boss like the Balancers, where there's multiple of them, if you hit 2 enemies twice, that's going to give you your attack boost. Now, they're very vague with the attack boost. We got to wait for data miners to get that out, but it seems like it's a decent effect only if you extend it. So you can actually press and hold your Y plus right trigger to go into a special version of this. It will eat up your ultimate charge, but this is much better because when you get this attack power boost, since this lasts a longer time, you're actually going to make use of it a little bit better. But the best part about her ability here is if you're out of stamina, you can use this to regain your stamina back to full. So let's say you're completely out of stamina, you can pop this, you get your stamina back. And the best part about this is it gives you a special sprint when you hold down your run button, so you can run a little bit quicker and not drain your stamina. However, if you do your normal sprint, it will go down, you'll lose your stamina. So you can use this to jump short distances against the enemy. But what I actually like is if you got your ultimate charge, to use her special one here, which will give you the ability to block all attacks. You get an Ultra Instinct Goku attack here, as you can see, pretty much like Wilder's where he voids an attack. Yeah, so you can use this. You do attack faster, so you can just go in and spam this, and it's actually pretty crazy. Now, this is useful on a lot of different bosses because her stance power is super powerful as well. But typically, if you're running dual hammers, whenever you pop your ability, you want to attack only with your main hammer. And then anytime that you're not in your trance to attack, particularly with jump attacks, I found that her poise break is really strong. You do get more poise whenever you use this ability here. Okay, the typical way would be beat up the boss, wait till your stamina's low, and if you're in a kind of a panic mode when you're really low on stamina and need a dodge, you can pop this, and it's going to give you your stamina back to full. Now for her ultimate, the Hex here is really powerful because it basically launches you at whatever enemy. You can knock Caligo out of the sky. There's a lot of fun ways to use this. I think this is one of the coolest ultimates that they put in the game. Oh, definitely the coolest ultimate because it just lets you home in on whatever you're targeting and you fly towards them. You get a free one anytime that a teammate uses their ultimate too, so you're going to be popping this quite frequently, and it's really great for interrupting certain attacks. Now, it's not going to interrupt every boss attack. If they're doing their special, like one that they do whenever they change phases, it won't interrupt it, but this one will interrupt a lot of their just neutral attacks and let your team wail in on them. So this is nice because let's say Wilder pops his ult, it staggers the boss, you can wait a second and then pop your ultimate, it'll likely stagger them once more. But we have a decision to make. Is it better to use our ultimate or is it better to go into Ultra Instinct here? Now, that will depending on the boss that you're going against. I like this one against the Balancers because you're fighting multiple of them, so you can swing your hammer around quicker, which is more likely to hit multiple of them. She actually has a very large area of effect with her special move kit for the hammers, and just pressing R1 here, you can see you can actually hit in a large area of effect. Great stagger. So I typically use the using your Trance here for most of the time because you're actually going to get your other ultimate whenever others use their ultimate. So feel free to go into this form. It just allows you to spam your attack button, which is really good at just breaking the boss's posture. Now for builds, the relics that I really like here, so she's great at applying statuses because she swings in a very large area of effect. So 2 that I love to pair together, you do have to buy the special relic here from beating an Everlord Sovereign boss, but getting the yellow, and red one here lets you put the Knight of the Miasma here, which gives you Chilling Mist, so you got Frostbite you can put on your weapon. And this works well because she typically doesn't want to spell cast too much, and this will let you turn invisible, which is great because you get a bit of stealth to then go ahead with the jump attack and then go into your special form there. I also like to pair this with poison damage, and this will actually, whenever you trigger poison and rot in the vicinity, it'll increase your attack power. It also increases your maximum FP, but she doesn't really use FPA. She can, but it's not really their best use all the time. And if you beat the Dreglord, this is going to be the best one here because whenever you get hit with an attack, you inflict rot on your attacks, which is going to proc the increased attack power from this one. So we get rock, poison, and frost all on the same weapon here. And you can put a bleed in your offhand. That's going to be my personal preference for her weapons. This will also, whenever the status ailment gauge slowly increases your attack power, and then rot in the vicinity causes continuous health regeneration. I think these 3 have crazy synergy together. Another setup, I really like the Knight of the Fathom here. Now, this works a little bit better with a Scholar because he can buff up your teammates, but hey, being able to heal your allies with a flask is really nice, increasing your maximum health points, and then having items confer effects to their allies. This is great if you don't have a scholar, you can kind of fit the role of them as well in a sense. And then with the Will of the Balance is increasing your melee attack power, skill attack power too, which is great. And then continuous FP recovery alongside the Knight of the Dregs as well, which can give you some pretty nice effects because you're going to get healing whenever you apply Rot. This does require to beat the Dreglord, however. And then with her basic urn here, we can use like a blue one with Blood Loss. It really just depends on your rolls, but I like to get Blood Loss on here as well. It's another great build. And then with this post-damage attacks, obviously that's a very powerful relic and increased vigor, because what you can do is you can actually kind of face tank when using your trance, especially the special version. So if you took damage, you can actually pop your trance, you're immune to all damage, and then you can get your health back. This is really powerful, and then just a physical attack up and endurance. Really depends on your rolls here. But I do think the best combination is Knight of the Wise, Knight of the Miasma, and Knight of the Dregs here, giving you 3 conditions really easily. With the Dreglord, see, we got now Rot on her hammer here, which is crazy. So you just go wail away on him with the Rot hammer until you're able to inflict the Rot condition. We don't have a very high arcane, so it does take time, and this boss has, but his enemy has a hard time getting it. But once you have that applied, you can then go with Chilling Mist, because then you're going to be applying Frostbite on the enemy on top of that, and the Scarlet Rot as well. So it's kind of a combination of both these statuses. And then I also like to have a Fire Hammer in the offhand so that you can remove that. I had a Fire Bleed Hammer in the offhand. It was a really good build one time. No, I'll be honest, with her Poison Hammer and Chilling Mist, this is a pretty good weapon. If you get the Forge, you can upgrade this one, and I actually had a run where this was very successful. But Marika's Hammer is going to be her best in slot. Goldbreaker is a really great skill. Spam your FP on this. It's a really powerful weapon, and if you can get this against a boss that's weak to Holy, you're going to be in for a good time. I like Vara's Bouquet, which isn't always that great in Elden Ring. It's very good here because she's got the special moveset, and this will have blood tax and can apply bleed. This also pairs well with the Morning Star. Don't be surprised, I was too. I didn't realize this was a hammer on one of my runs, but it is. Take it. We also got a Spike Club if you can't find the Morning Star, although I find the Morning Star's a little bit better. And the Ringed Finger is also a really nice hammer. If you're not able to find that, the Black Knife Dagger is also really great with the Blade of Death. Very powerful, one of the best weapons in the game. The Coated Sword is okay if you needed a weapon that can go through shields as well. She also uses Blasphemous Blade pretty well due to her high faith and strength skill, and this is actually great for sustain because she heals herself with this blade. Sacred Relic Sword as well, but if you have a Wilder, it's probably better that they use all these weapons, but she can use Great Swords pretty well. Malekith's Black Blade as well because it reduces the enemy's max health. The Eclipse Shuttle is also another great weapon, and it pops up quite frequently if you can find a hammer. These are some other great weapons to use. If you don't have a Raider, Axe of Godric is also quite great. And the last few I'll mention, the Devourer's Scepter is pretty useful, the Beast Claw Hammer. I also really like the Great Stars with the healing that it provides. And I had a decent run with the Envoy's Longhorn because the Bubble Shower sometimes can actually destroy enemies quickly if you get behind them. Unfortunately, you can't choose your loot. However, you got A scaling and Strength and Faith, which gives you a lot of weapons to work with. Your basic weapon is great, but this Prayerful Strike sucks, and this right here is the best use of it, so don't use that. It's best to go with a Chilling Mist or any other weapon skill that you prefer, and again, looking for Marika's Hammer or other types of hammer, especially the bleeds ones when you're on a run. Now, the best part about this is we can use our skill a lot, because anytime that our teammates are going to be using theirs, we can use them. So if you're playing with friends, you can kind of coordinate this if there's a section of the boss where you need to avoid attacking, and then later on where you can actually stun the boss. Like you can see here, we can actually knock the boss down. If you coordinate this with friends, it works a lot better, because there are, again, some stages where you can't actually stagger the boss. This is going to depend on boss to boss, but the Dreglord here on the phase changes, you can't do anything about it, and the normal attacks you can see, you can actually knock them down quite a bit, and this is great, again, chaining it off of a Wilder ult, or if you got a Guardian on your team as well. I was lucky to get both of them on this team, because yeah, you just home in on the enemy, which is super perfect. So I'd actually recommend using the enhanced version of Trance most of the time, because you're going to get your ultimate so quickly. It is a nice ultimate if you need to revive a teammate too, because it's going to let you home in on the teammate, so it can be great in that regard. But honestly, the Undertaker is great at reviving teammates by using her Trance ability, because that makes her attacks a lot quicker, and it restores her stamina, which is great because if you're sprinting towards them, you're likely going to have low stamina. So I'd actually recommend saving Trance if you have a teammate that's down versus using your ultimate, and saving your ultimate to do the enhanced version of Trance, because that gives you the ability to dodge all attacks, which is super great if you're going against an enemy and you need to be able to revive someone. So yeah, save your ultimate for super enhanced Trance. Don't use the ultimate unless you're getting the free one from your teammates' ultimates, which is highlighted with purple, as yeah, that's the one that you want to use, as you can save yours. If you need to interrupt the boss, then do it, but it's honestly best to keep for the enhanced Trance. So if you have any questions regarding the Undertaker or Elden Ring Nightreign in general, feel free to leave a comment. I'm usually pretty quick to get back to them. I did beat both the bosses that were added in the DLC on the day that they came out. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them below. Hope you guys have a great day, and subscribe if you enjoyed.